Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today is the anniversary of my 6th year on YouTube. I want to say it flew by, but there have been so many days of hard work and angst and celebration and wonderful subscriber comments that I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the 6 years and say what a journey this has been. Now, when I started YouTube, I thought that we would not get this far. I never really had the dream in the very beginning of trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, but here we are, still not there, but I am still trying. So today I'm just going to pick a few of your comments, some of the nice ones, some of the funny ones, some of the questionable ones, and give you answers. Now, I receive thousands and thousands of comments from you guys. You are so sweet to leave me your thoughts and your helpful suggestions, and also your criticism when it's done with respect. Always thankful for all of your input. But today we're going to do that. We're also going to do some shipping in the new space, which is going really well. I'm really enjoying it. All right, let's jump into answering your comments here on YouTube. So like I said, today is the 6th anniversary of me starting YouTube. I think my first YouTube video launched on May 21st, 6 years ago. So I wouldn't have even realized I've been on 6 years. I mean, it has been a lot of work, but it did go by fast. But YouTube is great at sending a congratulations out, and I very much appreciate the whole platform of YouTube. I have been able to make very good money on this platform, and it has been a ton of work. I mean, so many days you're filming and things just interrupt the filming, or things don't go as smoothly as you planned, and you just have to stick with it and get it done. All right, so I did write down some of your comments on my board because I am filming on my iPhone, and that is where I could read the comments. It's too much to switch back and forth between reading the comment and filming, so I just wrote a few comments down. One of the most common remarks or comments or questions I get is about my clothing. And many of you who have been with me for a while know my favorite brand, all-time favorite brand, is Johnny Was. So I wore the kimono today as a mark of celebrating not only being on YouTube, but also wearing many, many blouses put out by this company. This kimono I did not get on eBay. I bought it at Johnny Was in, I think it was King of Prussia Mall in Pennsylvania, and I believe it was on the clearance rack. Now, don't get me wrong, it was still hundreds of dollars, but it has served me well, and I don't know, maybe one day I will sell it, you never know. All right, so that is the first question, where I get my clothing. So I either buy Johnny Was on eBay, from Johnny Was, the store itself, or I pick clothing that is very like Johnny Was, but from other brands. Just a few months ago, when Roger and I made the move to Florida, many of you were wondering why we were making the move after putting a fairly big addition onto the Pennsylvania house. When we put that addition on, we did not know that we would kind of change directions and start to look at retirement. We had had many conversations about it, but we realized that retiring in Pennsylvania was not part of the plan that we envisioned for ourselves going forward. So we did buy a house here in Florida, and we started to make that transition. It's probably going to take me a full 2 years to retire, but that is the goal for both of us, to move towards retirement. You know, when you have businesses or a single business for yourself, nobody tells you what is the last day of you working. It's kind of like you're fully in control, making it up as you go along, according to how long you want to work, how much money you want to be able to put away for retirement, and all things like that. So we felt it was a pretty realistic goal to be able to fully retire within 2 years, and that's what we have set about doing. So some of your questions come from you guys being confused over why I'm picking up less inventory, or why we moved to Florida right after putting an addition. It was probably about 2 years after putting an addition onto the house, and that is hopefully going to cover all of those questions. Roger and I are both planning on retiring probably 2027, 2028. We have bought the house, we have started the renovations, going forward towards retirement. And I am very much looking forward to that. But once you retire after working so much, You don't know what life is going to look like, and we will probably still be in the thrift stores just doing thrifting and reselling, maybe as a hobby. We might just be doing thrifting. You never know where the road is going to lead, but we are here for the full ride and very much appreciate you guys taking this ride with us. All right, so now I'm just going to read a few of the comments, and let me just say that 99.9% of the comments from you guys are just so wonderful and positive, and I read every single one of them. I do try to put a little red heart if I've read it, and I can't answer all of you guys. I do get thousands and thousands of comments, so guys, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who has joined recently, and for those of you who have been with me from the beginning. I love you guys. You are my clothespins, and I very much appreciate all of your support and kindness. There are a few comments that get left that do put my knickers in a little twist, but the majority of you guys are just amazing. All right, let's go on to comment number one. All right, question number one, or comment number one. Your inventory isn't as big as it was, which is true. Now you are picking up less and less, but continuing the hunt to keep your YouTube numbers. True. I wonder if you are keeping the clothespins interested until you are going to retire. Well, I sure hope so. You know, guys, when I started the channel, it was never my intent to be a one-trick pony, they say. I didn't really know what was going to happen with YouTube. I was just making it up as I was going along like I am doing now. You just get inspiration, you see something, you want to share it with your friends. It's kind of like a friendship. It's not like the whole course is plotted out. You don't know what you're going to wind up doing totally. But when something comes along and it's interesting or it's good enough to share with your friends, sometimes it worked its way into a video. So I hope I'm keeping you guys interested. Now, my channel has changed over the years. When I first started out, I was not thrifting in the stores. Let me backtrack. I was not filming thrifting in the stores at all. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know stores would not only allow you to come in with a camera, but welcome you. And if you think about it, if you're making positive videos and you're a fairly positive person, why wouldn't stores want you to come in and show what they have and show the wonderful shopping? Not only have I done that in the thrift stores and in the flea markets and yard sales, but I've also done it in retail stores. There have been quite a few retail stores that I've shown, that I've filmed in: Pottery Barn, Cocalico Creek Home, Home Goods, all of the home stores. I've come in with a camera. They did not sponsor me. I didn't make any money, but when I love something, I love to share it with you guys. So that is a little precursor to some of the questions that are going to come up where people feel like, why are you doing things the way you're doing? So I've always proclaimed it's my channel and I want to share what I feel genuine about. I don't want to be where I'm just making stuff up or I'm not showing you what's really important to me. I feel like my channel is a true representation of who I am and what I love. The next is a comment, not really a question. I didn't write down everybody's user ID. Maybe some of these I will attribute it to who left it. This person says, you get paid to talk up products. I believe this comment was left on my last video where I did a promo for FabFitFun. It's been my second one. You get paid to talk up products. So buckle up because this is only the beginning. I'm not sure if this person is saying they need to buckle up or I need to buckle up. All right, when you grow a YouTube channel and you have a fair amount of subscribers, I'm gonna say maybe 5,000 subscribers or over, you start to get inundated. The YouTuber starts to get inundated with requests to do sponsorships. I got that from the very beginning. Guys, if I showed you my email, lavenderclothesline@gmail.com, and that's where you can write me also, I get hundreds of promotional invitations from different companies. I've had everybody from Temu who was wanting to pay me $4,000 for 4 minutes of promoting them. $4,000. I don't know what that works out to an hour, but that's like Hollywood status. I turned it down because I'm not a big fan of Temu. I don't think there's anything wrong with Temu. It's just not my cup of tea. I've never ordered from them. I didn't want to just go after the money. What I talk about, I really believe in. And like I said, so much of my channel, there's recommendations, there's things that I tell you guys that I love, and none of those people are sponsoring me. I have given free shout outs to like American Bubble Boy, who is the company that I buy bubble wrap from. I mean, the list goes on and on. You pack and ship where I get my supplies, or did in the past. Now I just buy from whoever is the least expensive. So please understand, going forward, I'm gonna do a few paid promotions for items I love. Right now I'm in talks with a company that is my all-time favorite company for what I buy from them. And in a couple of videos ago, I proclaimed, hey, if you want to sponsor me, I'm all in. And they've contacted me and we're in talks now. So if ever you're watching the video and it's a paid sponsorship, which is not going to be a lot for this channel, you can just hit the fast forward button. Or if you really hate it and you feel like that's not for you, I'm okay with you not watching it. I fully understand. I don't want all you guys to leave me, but it's my channel. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to get sponsorships for products and companies I'm already promoting. I'm already giving them shout outs. Why wouldn't I want to be paid? So on the FabFitFun video, 100% love that company. And you guys are constantly asking, hey Karen, where do you get your hair products? FabFitFun. Where did you get that lip gloss? FabFitFun. So I use that company all the time. Why wouldn't I do a commercial for them that's like 4 or 5 minutes long and get paid for it? More money in my retirement fund, and it's really not a lot of extra work. Don't get me wrong, it's still work, but I'm very happy to receive sponsorship invitations. And like I said, I get hundreds every month. All YouTubers do, all influencers who have any kind of nice speaking voice, or they're reliable, they're truthful people. You're going to get inundated. So if you want to become a commercial actress, start a YouTube channel, because let me tell you, it's crazy how many people want you to work with them. I also wanted to add, not only do companies write to YouTubers or eBayers, but also large platforms. So I'm not going to name all of the platforms that ask me to speak at their conventions, but like last year, eBay invited me to be a speaker at their eBay Open. And I didn't really want to take time away from work, because when you go away to do a speaking engagement, you're stopping all work at home, so you're losing that money. So you have to weigh the balance. But eBay was wonderful, and I thank you, eBay, for wanting me to be one of the main speakers. They offered plane fare for both Roger and I, our hotel costs, our rental car to feed us. But at the end of the day, I do love eBay, and I have made a full-time living on eBay. I didn't feel like the effort I would put in would be worth me leaving the house and all of the filming and being with you guys. And I don't know that many of you would have been interested in hearing me as an eBay speaker. So a couple of the other big platforms, a couple of the big convention people, conference people, the people that put on the conferences have contacted me. Very, very grateful, but not really my cup of tea. I'd rather talk to you guys one-on-one. This next comment is from a user ID, Donna Murphy, and she has a number after her name. I don't know what the number is because I wrote it down. She says, not a fan of you unboxing FabFitFun. What does this have to do with learning about thrifting? Seriously? Donna, I don't know why you're upset. I have no idea. I can't even imagine me being upset at somebody who has a YouTube channel that I follow or that I watch even semi-regularly and saying to them, like, why are you doing this? I don't know. I'm just saying there's lots of different people out there. And Donna, if you feel upset, you can always turn away. It's okay. I'm not offended, but I'm glad to answer your question. So I put down my answer so I can stay real focused. I wrote it down. I don't view, nor have I ever proclaimed, that my channel is a teaching thrifting channel. Like I just explained a little while ago, my channel didn't even have thrifting in the beginning. I used to go out and thrift, bring it all home, and do hauls for you guys in my dining room in the Pennsylvania house. Do you guys remember that? I would lay out the table and it would be big amounts of stuff. Now, I bought a lot of inventory back then because I wasn't really doing YouTube on this level. YouTube takes so many hours per week. You would be amazed, because not only are you doing the whole getting ready to be on camera, you want your nails to be nice most days, your hair to be good some days, but you're going into a thrift store or wherever you're filming, and you can't control the general public. You can't control the background music, the children crying, people stopping to talk to you, which I always love. So you have no control over it. It takes a lot longer. For a video that might be 30 minutes long, it might take me 3 hours in the thrift store. I know if you've never created YouTube videos, it can be quite confusing of why I've only produced a 28-minute video and I could have filmed for 4 hours. Well, some days I did film for 4 hours. A lot of it's not usable. And then the video has to be edited. So it's edited in my hands. I do all of the notes. I say all of the things of what I want to happen in the video. And then my daughter Lisa gets the raw footage and she follows my notes and does all of the cutting. Like, remember back in the day where they used to bring the reels of film? Well, we don't really remember it, but we're not that old. And they would cut and splice and put the film together. That's Lisa's job. That's what she does. She lightens it. She does all the technical part of it. All right, where did I get off on that tangent? So I do view my channel as a sharing what I love channel. That's always been my heart. I do want to share with you my successes. I also share my failures, but a lot of times I'm sharing just what I love in life. The houses that I live in, the furniture that I buy, the products that I find that are just everything. I am a shopper through and through. I always have been, way before YouTube, way before thrifting. I have always been in the stores. So when I find products that I just think are so good, or a company that just performs like flawlessly, of course I'm going to share it with you guys. So Donna, I'm not sure why you're upset, but feel free, if I'm not the channel for you, to look for a channel that's just going to be strictly teaching thrifting. And they're probably out there. I really can't think of another YouTube creator, and I know most of them personally, that does this, but maybe you guys would like that. All right, next comment is probably a comment that I receive almost as often as, what clothing are you wearing? What are you doing to your hair? First of all, right now in life, turning 65, naturally I would be all gray. So we can tell that I'm coloring. I've always colored since I started going gray. I did let myself go gray once and I looked so tired. My under eye circles were even worse. Right now these videos are brightened, so if you see me in real life, my circles a lot of days are true under eye circles, just from the amount of work, and also just because if we're in a store, the lighting is darker, you're just gonna have darker circles. But when I let my hair go gray, I thought, you know what? It's not the getting old that I mind. I like getting older. It is the looking tired or just looking like exhausted. So my hair, this last haircut I did myself. So I just started taking a scissor and point cutting. It's called point cutting, just cutting into it to get it to sit up a little bit. I have very baby fine hair, so the coloring does help that, but I have to keep layers in my hair or it would be very flat and unattractive. The color, I no longer have my daughter Lisa living by me. She has always been my colorist, I'm gonna say. She does my roots every 3 weeks, or she did do my roots every 3 weeks, and she would also stripe my hair. I will insert photos here of all the different striping I've had. Now, 1 or 2 of these were probably going to be a hairdresser, and they didn't do as good a job as Lisa did. I remember the day I came home from the beauty salon, the hair salon, and I was very disappointed in the striping I had received. I'm like, this doesn't seem that hard. What am I asking for? Am I asking for too much? And my daughter Lisa, who had never colored anything, she doesn't color her own hair, she's never colored, she said, oh, we could color your hair. And you know what was funny? I believed her from the beginning. Lisa and Mellissa, both my daughters, are both fearless when it comes to, oh, we could do that, we could figure it out. And I thought we were gonna get, packages from Target or something, the boxed hair color. Oh no, we went to Sally's hair salon, hair Beauty Supply, Sally's Beauty Supply, not a plug because I'm not a big fan of the store. And we got the bowls and the brushes and the developer and all the colors. And from day one, she did an amazing job. Never did it before in her life. I don't know. She read the directions and away we went. I think a couple of years ago, I even posted on Instagram, me sitting there with all of these foils in my hair. I looked like a Martian. I'll see if I can find that photo, with Lisa just smiling away doing my hair. So that is the full story of my hair. Will I ever let it go gray? Probably not. I don't like looking tired, even on the days I'm exhausted. All right, now we get to the nitty gritty. A lot of you guys want to know the money part of YouTube. I have openly shared the money part of eBay all along. I have sold over $100,000 worth on eBay. That's not all profit. It's usually about 62% that I pocket. So in any given year, if I'm selling 100,000, I usually pocket 62,000. That is before taxes. I have other streams of income, let me just say that, but I can fully live on that because I'm always a person that buys well below what I'm making. I've always been that way. Right now I could afford luxury cars or handbags. I'm not interested in any of that. I like just a good running car where you get in and you drive and you're good and you have air conditioning. Done. So income on YouTube is a real thing. I mean, a real thing. Many of the YouTubers I know, get ready for this, I'm not going to name specific numbers, make hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. Now let's compare eBay to YouTube because many of you guys are interested in that. When you make a certain amount, when you get that $10.99 from eBay, you have to realize all of the numbers that make up that number. It's your shipping, it's all of your eBay fees. So your insertion fees, if you've promoted, listing fees, any fees. There's also your income tax in there. You're gonna have to pay income tax on everything you earn on eBay. All your expenses, your gas, the mileage on your car, if you ate because you were on the road long hours, all of your inventory, your shipping supplies, packing supplies, everything. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now YouTube. When YouTube sends you that $10.99, you might have expenses like travel because you went to conferences to be with other YouTubers. What else might you have? The gas to go thrifting, but you got to think about it. You already wrote that gas off because you were thrifting for eBay. Most of that is profit. Yes, you have cameras and lighting in the beginning, but YouTube, for every, I don't even know what the conversion is, for every dollar you make on YouTube, you are keeping a lot more of that money. Hence, you're going to pay more taxes on the money because you have less write-offs. So I am not a financial person, but just know that YouTube, generally, when you get to a certain level, you're pocketing, you're keeping a lot more of that money for your work than compared to eBay. I still continue to do both because someday I'm not going to be able to do the channel and I want to keep my eBay store up so I can always sell, but I'm going to do YouTube as long as I can. Now, some days I do feel like quitting because like I said, it's exhausting, especially when you get out to a thrift store or an auction and something goes awry and you can't film, you got to start all over again. Whereas if you buy something to sell on eBay, you've got the thing, pretty sure it's going to sell sooner or later. Some things take a while. So YouTube is has more moving parts to it, in my opinion. All right, what else shall we talk about? I think I've covered enough. I've covered my clothing, my hair, my makeup. I just buy everything. I do get quite a bit of makeup from FabFitFun to try, and then I might continue to buy it. I shop at Sephora and Ulta, those two places. Skincare, I drink a ton of water. I have had microneedling, is that what it's called? I did 6 sessions. Hurt like crazy, and they put a gel on you that numbs your face. This was all very new to me, and the needles are like just very fine needles, and it's supposed to give you collagen, like build collagen. I guess it did work. Will I do it again? No, I don't think so. So there is that. I do use face cream. I'm not going to name the face cream. It's very expensive and I am not sponsored by them. So I don't want to insult anybody by talking about another product. I'm only kidding. All right. I think that's it for today. We're going to do shipping. We're going to pull shipping in the new space. and I am a shameless plug for the new space. I love everything in it. The garage is a dream. It is like 95 degrees here most days. You guys know I'm on the west coast of Florida, and it's so hot. And when I go into that garage, it is air conditioned, and we are running a dehumidifier. It is insulated. We had insulation put in all the walls. We are drywalled. We have the floor done. We are in good shape. I think this weekend or next weekend, we'll be working on the panels of insulation in the garage doors, and the garage will be 100% done. We are also going to be painting the outside of the house. That's the next project around here. See, so I talk about a lot of stuff other than thrifting. Let me just say to end this part of the conversation, so many of you are the sweetest, kindest, most encouraging people I have ever not met in real life in my life. And I appreciate you guys so much. Often I recognize your names because you've been with me for a while. Oh, we just saw Roger in the background. Hey, we saw you in the background. Roger is in his office. He's working on shipping, so he was taping the boxes, and he quietly shut the door so we didn't hear all the tape pulling. What was I saying? So I just wanted to leave you with this thank you. I appreciate you guys. Happy 6-year anniversary to Lavender Clothesline on YouTube. I could have never done it without you, and I am so appreciative for every one of you. All right, let's get to shipping. Hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, go out and get what's yours. Hey everyone, welcome into the channel. It's Karen, Lavender Clothesline. Today we're going to pull some shipping together. These are going to be sold from, I think it was yesterday to today. I think we have about 12 items. And yeah, we're going to get right into it, jump right into it. I'm already home from thrifting. I got some thrifting done today, filmed that video, and that video will come out tomorrow. This will be in next Sunday's video. I hope all of that makes sense. All right, as you can tell, I already wrapped one item and printed out the label, and then I was like, I should film. Everybody wants to see what's going on in the shipping space. So the shipping space is working great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Roger and I recently converted a very scrappy 2-car garage into our eBay warehouse space, and it is going well. We are enjoying the space, and once again, Roger is still shipping in his office, but you know what? He'll make his way into the space when he feels like it. All right, let's see what's sold. First item is the Tiffany Reproduction Metropolitan Museum of Art stained glass panel, $69.99. That is going to be on glass. Let's see, I think I see it here. Now, I won't remember exactly what I paid for everything. You guys see when I thrift, I don't pay a lot for anything. I think the most I've ever paid for an item is like $20 or $30, and then the thing had to sell for like over $100 for sure. So I am very careful what I spend on my items, and that is the first item. So $69.99, great profit. Next up, 6 Anjou bath bombs, shea butter, peppermint, rose, sweet orange. Okay, they were all different scents. I won't name them all. $19.99. That's going to be down this first aisle. Things have switched around a little bit from the other house, but I think the bath bombs are going to be in soaps, shampoo, and body fragrance. I'm going to pull that bin down. Now, if the bath bombs are not in here, they're going to be in a large bin, because at the very end of packing, right before we moved here, I wanted to make sure every bin was filled to capacity. Yeah, we don't. Oh no, here they are here. So I was going to say they'd probably be in a big bin altogether, but here they are here, bath bombs. And it has something in a different language. I have no idea what. Nice and sealed to keep it fresh, and $19.99. I imagine I got these probably from Goodwill. I don't think these came from a buyout, but yeah, so those are going to go out the door. All right, the next item up is a vintage sterling silver necklace, $44. This was part of a jewelry buy. Here's jewelry here from, let me think of what store I was in. I think I was in red, white, and blue, and I decided to get some jewelry out of the case. Let me just grab this whole tissue paper thing, because I think the jewelry that's in here was all from the same buy, that same day, in other words. And most likely, yep, here it is here. Now, I wasn't quite sure what the black middle thing was. I didn't know if that was like, I don't know, like onyx or what that was made of. Let me see what I called this in the title. The piece is marked. The necklace was marked 925, so I knew it was sterling silver. Okay, so I said a vintage sterling silver necklace, 925, Italy, modernist pendant and chain. I don't know that I named this black material. When I don't know what something is, I will just put a question mark. Sometimes you can take an educated guess, but I always let my buyer know if I'm not positive that it's just an educated guess. All right, and I noticed on the list the next purchase from a different buyer, I believe. Just looking, yeah, different buyer, $9.99 for this brooch pin. These are just rhinestones, but very lovely. They remind me of blue bonnets from Texas. But again, I don't think I would put that because I wasn't sure, but that's what they remind me of, so $9.99. All right, next up on the list for $32, civilian men's collarless shirt in gray, and I call this a chore shirt or a grandfather shirt when it has no collar. It's kind of like a mandarin collar, I'm gonna call it. As you can tell, I left bins out from earlier in the day. I did a little bit of shipping before I ran to, where were we today? We were at Goodwill today. All right, so what am I looking for? I am looking for, these are casual button downs. It could be in here. We're still not as organized as we were in Pennsylvania, but I am definitely getting there, so very encouraged. All right, so I think it's gonna be in casual button downs and solids. Okay, I was looking for the bin that would have solid dress shirts, and it's down here on the floor. I was looking on the whole wall, on the whole rack, and I was like, where is this? It's on the floor in front of me. Let's look in this first so I don't have to pull something down if I don't need to. So this is a combination of stripes. I used to have these separate and solids. Again, I wanted to top off the bins when we were putting them into the truck to be really careful about the space I was using up with the bins. This might be it right here, I think. Yep, this is it here, civilian, medium. See this collar here? I still call this collarless, and it is definitely a chore shirt. All right, next up we have an airy swimsuit, blue, and it is a size small. I believe swimsuits are over here. Let me see, these are sweaters. Okay, so we are one aisle back. Now, I used to have signs on the ends of these racks. I think I'm going to remake the signs because I'm still not used to the setup. But yeah, it's going to be here. I can see swimwear right here. And it is a blue. Yep, here it is here. Let's pull this bin down. I am definitely getting low on swimwear. I used to have a lot more than this. Here it is here. This is airy. My tag is folded over on itself. Let me see if I can do this without opening it. I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's bring it to the table. So a very simple inventory system, just a little description of what is in the bag. So there it is there. And I think I said what it sold for, $14.25. Next up, is the horse picture. I knew this would do well. Let's pull this. It's a vintage 1973 original painting that sold for $129.50. Here is our original painting by Elaine Parker. And I knew her name was Elaine Parker because she clearly signed it on the front, and it's also written on the back. Elaine, I love you. Thank you so much for writing your name clear. It makes my life so much easier. I always talk about how when I find artwork, it's so frustrating when you can't tell the signature of the person who put all of that beautiful work into it. So very appreciative. I keep artwork on top of my shelves now just to keep it high and dust free, and that is working out great. Back in the other house, I think I had it in a large, I'm going to say a protective casing, and there was a lot of artwork in there. So now I'm trying to keep it spread out a little bit, just up top. I keep quite a bit on top of the shelves, you can see. All right, next up, chit chat. All right, we have a polo Ralph Lauren men's hooded shirt, lightweight, $39. Men's clothing is over here. Right after dresses. So this is women's dresses, this is men's here, and it's going to be in a casual shirt that it could also be in hoodie. I think this might be in hoodies. I'm gonna look there. Okay, here's the Ralph Lauren Polo USA shirt, men's, $39. Next up, women's shorts. These are regular shorts, they're embroidered, Kristen Miles, 1X. Okay, shorts are down here. I really need signs on the end. Okay, so regular shorts are going to be in this bin. I keep activewear shorts and regular street shorts, we're going to call them, separated. And then I have a separate bin for Lululemon. Here it is, here right on top. That was easy, and I've had them listed for a while. Kristen Miles, size 1X women's shorts, embroidered, lovely, like a deep charcoal gray. And what did they sell for? $14.88. All right, next up, Pottery Barn teen embroidered quilt, $49.50. It has tassels on it. Let's find what I did with that. We have quilts here, blankets and throws, Pottery Barn. So it should be in Pottery Barn, I'm thinking. These are non-Pottery Barn. So I separate a lot of my linens by brands when I have a lot of one brand. Like you guys know, I buy a lot of Pottery Barn. So I try to separate those out so I don't have to dig through a lot of something when an item is not going to be in there. All right, let's pull the Pottery Barn teen embroidered quilt. My one tip with when you're selling linens that are large is to try to put them in a plastic bag and get all the air out of them. I know the vacuum bags work great. I have used those a couple of times, but truth be told, usually I just use a clear bag that's a recycle bag. In other words, these bags are sold for your recycling cans, like your soda cans and things like that. And then I just squeeze all the air out of it and tape it shut. Now, right now, this one does not have the air vacuumed out of it, so it looks a little bit bigger, but a quilt is going to be big anyway. So it's great to get it packaged up at time of listing. It's all weighed and measured, and the dimensions are taken, so you don't wind up taking a hit on shipping. Shipping just keeps going up and up, and if you don't have the proper weight and dimensions on, it can really eat into your profit. So my best tip is to really know what size package your finished item is going to be for shipping out. In this case, a Pottery Barn quilt. All right, $49.50 I said, right? Yep, that's it. All right, next up was a wood trinket box. Oh, phone's ringing. Okay, I was just about to film pulling the last item, and Lisa called, my daughter Lisa. Can I say, I get excited every time my kids call. It's the funniest thing. We all talk all the time, but anytime one of my kids call me, I'm like, oh, they're calling. Love my kids. All right. Last thing is a vintage wood trinket box, hand painted with a bird and floral design, $16, and I see it right here. This is lovely, just lovely. Look at that. All right, so these are the items I have to ship out. The most challenging one is the artwork. I will use a very big box, and I will surround the picture with the styrofoam that I saved from unpacking all of the garage furniture. But I'm not going to show you shipping, the actual shipping. Now, a few of you say, hey, will you teach us how to ship? I am so sorry. That's not what my channel is about. My channel is about going into thrift stores and different places to source for eBay and showing you that. And then sometimes I'll do a pull shipping in my space just to show you, how I organize it. This cart here, this is the inventory waiting to be listed. Once I get this done, I have a few pieces of clothing and I will be all caught up, which is a lot of work, truth be told. All right, so I'm still in the garage. It is a little bit later, and we're gonna pull a few more things that sold so I can just close this out and know that I have filmed and shipped everything. The next item is an Eileen Fisher jacket. It's a small petite. I don't pick up a lot of petite clothing. Yes, I realize there are a lot of petite sized people in the world, but petite clothing is a little bit more of a slower seller rather than the larger sizes. But I'm gonna pull this one, sold for $18. This is Eileen Fisher. It is a black jacket in a small. So here are the jackets over here, and it's going to be in this bin. I'm going to pull this bin. And it definitely appears I should slow down picking up small jackets. The bin is filled. All right, so Ralph Lauren, we are looking for black. This is a trench coat, but it's kind of like a blazer. It's probably why I put it in here. All right, can't talk about all the things. Let's see if we can find, so is this, dong. There's a black one here. That's not it. Oh, here it is here. Eileen Fisher, petite small, black blazer. The next order is a multiple purchase. 3 items sold for $84. They are all pottery. One is the serpent pottery mug. One is the blue glaze square tissue box cover. And the other one is a vase number 35. They all look similar. Maybe somebody has that color in their home decor. So here is the tissue box cover. I recently picked this up. Where was I? Red, White, and Blue thrift store. Today is Thursday while I'm pulling this shipping, and we just realized that this Saturday is Red, White, and Blue's 50% off sale. So we're hoping to go to that, Roger and I, because he has off on Saturday. And thank you to my girlfriend Judy for letting us know. She gave us the heads up. All right, what was I looking for? I was looking for the pottery mug. Where did I put a mug? I'm not picking up a lot of mugs these days. Here is the vase. I see it here. This is number 35. Pretty sure. I will check on that. And I know I'm looking right at the mug. Sometimes you can be staring at something and you don't even realize you're looking at it. Okay, either that or it's walked away. Okay, I've spotted it now. It's hidden way in the back. How could you not buy this? This is really fantastic. It's an applied handle, but boy, is that nice. So all three pieces, I will let you know what each piece brought. Let me go into it and see the individual prices. So collectively $84. The Serpent Sea Dragon mug sold for $44. The vase sold for $16. And the tissue box cover sold for $24. They will ship out together. I will have to very heavily pad these because pottery is so breakable. But I've been doing okay with pottery as long as I don't put anything metal or super heavy in the same box. Even if you wrap it thoroughly with all the things, I never put metal with pottery. But these three should be fine shipping together. All right, let's go to the next item. The next item is a Calvin Klein black skirt in size 4. So I've pulled this bin. This is skirt small, colored solids, and then I added the dark in when we moved. As you can tell, small skirts are either doing well for me or I kind of stopped picking them up. I think that's what's happened more so than they're flying out of the store. Okay. And Taylor, here it is here, Calvin Klein size 4 skirt. Now I will open this bag since it doesn't have any identifying, embellishment on it or print. And what does it say? Lined black career to evening. Yeah, I'm going to open this up and make sure that this is it. And it sold for $15. All right, so that is the last of the items going out. The screen before this one where the table was covered, that all already shipped out. And this was the next shipping. I think it was the next shipping. Might have been the shipping after that. All right, guys, love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, go out and get what's yours.